Greetings, everyone. This is Adunola the Oracle, also known as Ia Oshunfunke Omikimi, and I'm coming to you because the last series I did on soul contracts was so messed up. I was so ticked off because the video was blurry. I was having issues in the area with Wi-Fi connection in my neighborhood, and I was just so disappointed in how it came out, even though the content was great. So I decided to break down this series into a series of speaking about, why we choose our parents, soul contracts, and things like that, twin flames, and all that stuff that we try to understand, why we suffer, why we chose the body we chose, why we chose the enemies and siblings. We're going to break it down into a series. So today we are going to talk about the most popular aspect of this, because this is only one aspect. And this is about soulmates, twin flames, karmics. What are they? Why can we not get this old person out of our mind? Why can't we stop thinking about this lover? They treated us like dog crap. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Demetria. Hi, Richie. Hi, Avril. I hope I said your name correctly. Yes, so I digress. Why can we not get over this person who treated us like dog crap, who abused us, who cheated, lied, ghosted, etc., etc.? If you can't get over a person. And there is a soul explanation for everything. You could be totally happily married to someone, everything's peaceful and stable, and yet you still carry a torch for someone else. Why do these type of things occur? Because I've done so many readings, and a lot of people, you would be surprised, they could be happily married and really, truly, sincerely love their spouse and still have love for someone else. So why do these type of things happen? We're going to talk about it from an astrological level and just basically an esoteric level to understand soul contracts. If you saw my soul contract video, you will understand about souls being a cluster of light. When we are born, we are never alone. We always have our mates in heaven, which the Yoruba call Egbe. We call them soul groups down here in the New Age community. We call them soul groups, and that just simply means clusters of light together. Just like there is usually no one cell in your body that is by itself, there are a cluster of them. The same thing goes for us in the spirit realm. Let's talk about what's the difference between a soulmate, a twin flame, and a karmic. So a soulmate can be anybody. They don't have to be romantic. They can be your mother, your father, your sibling, your best friend, even as crazy as it sounds, your pet. A soulmate is someone who is usually in our soul group, in our cluster of light. We have known them since the beginning of our existence in the spirit realm, and we usually always travel together. I hope that you can see this. So, soul group. Making sure you can see. Soul group. And think of this as a pod. You know, like if you look at something like a snow pea, or let's use a snow pea for example. It's a little green bean, and you cut it open, and there's many different pods in it. You can think of some type of plant life that has many seeds. So consider your soul within a pod that contains other souls that are all a piece of the Creator having a human experience. So this is your little pod right here. This is how you were created in the spirit realm, excuse me. So this is you. This is your cluster of your soul. This is another soul. See how you've never seen a plant that only has one seed. So if you ever feel alone, just remember you belong to a soul pod, also known as Egbe or soul group. And these are just little clusters of light. And if you look at the word soul, what does it sound like? Sun, soul. In Spanish, the word of sun means soul. So last time I showed you a depiction of the Most High, the creator of all things, the divine source. And I drew the diagram like this. Remember that? This is the entire energy of everything, the divine calabash. And I drew your incarnation. This is you. See how you're connected to that big ball of energy right there? This is your other person in your soul group. This is someone else's soul group. This is just a cluster of souls. What does this look like as I draw it? It looks like a sun, doesn't it? I wasn't even doing that on purpose. After I did that last soul contract video, I realized that this looks like a sun. So there must be some type of correlation to that, but I digress. I'm going to call this the great I am energy. So this is you. Now, within this pod of souls, each little seed has its male side and female side. Understand that. And that's how we get the concept of twin flame. So I'm showing this to you so that you can see that everyone in your soul group is not going to be a lover in a particular incarnation or life. It's a pod of souls. And they are like a group of actors and directors and executive producers. And in the spirit realm, when they decide on what destiny they want for a lifetime, what they want their body to look like, what they want their parents to act like, they take turns because they elevate higher back to this source because they're down here, so they need to elevate back up through many lifetimes to what they really are, where everything is all oneness. There's no split souls in this area. So they're like, okay, we're going to have some difficulties and challenges in order to remember what we are not. Because here we are all that is. This is perfection. This is peace. This is prosperity, abundance. This is everything. We are all that there is. Peace. This is divine, just love, straight love, no fear. So in order to experience, for the creator to experience itself, it breaks itself off into these little souls, into different pods. And there are many pods. Here's someone else's pod. This could be your parents' pod, because your parent doesn't always have to be your soulmate. They could be in a neighboring pod, a neighboring clan of souls. So it breaks itself off into many pieces and many different scenarios so that it can experience itself, what it is not. In order to understand what you are, you need to know what you are not, if you follow me. So here we are. These souls are like, okay, we have a theme going on here. We want to understand self-esteem and the opposite of what love is. We want to have to learn the lessons of forgiveness, patience, rejection, abuse. Because keep in mind, no matter what you have gone through in any life, I don't care how traumatic it was, keep in mind, on this soul level, your soul knew you were going to go through certain things in an incarnation, in a lifetime. And no matter how bad it gets, I don't care how bad the crap storm is, you could totally mess up everything. Just do everything totally wrong, just tragedy. And you're still going to be okay. You can't get out of it dead, if you know what I mean. The only thing that dies is the human body, because this is our casing to play the character that we're playing. It's just like when an actor goes into a movie and the actor gets killed, the actor is not dead off set. The actor's only dead on that movie, if you understand what I mean. So no matter how bad the movie is, a terrible, tragic movie, that actor's gonna die a terrible death, but at the end, when they're rolling the credits, that actor somewhere in the back room, in the the green room, sipping coffee, still alive. The same thing with your soul. So I'm going to say this to you because I want to remind you that there's no suffering that you have ever endured that you're not going to get out of. You cannot, you're going to survive whatever you've been through. Your soul actually has chosen some of these lessons to learn what it is not, so that it can remember what it is. Because remember, like I said in the soul contract video, we had to forget that we are this. We had to forget that we are divine, we are abundant, we are love, we are not jealousy, we're not competitive, and we are one. When you are born, you make a contract to forget, because you're down in the third dimension where you're not supposed to remember. Because keep in mind, like I said in the soul contract video, it's like taking a test. If you know all of the answers, if you remember all of the answers, why take the test? That's like taking a test and you have all the answers sitting next to you. A, B. It's no sense in even taking the test because you're going to cheat your way through it anyway. So it's like you have to become blindfold. Your soul has to just become blind to the fact that you are this and forget, So that when you go through these experiences that are going to have to cause you to forgive someone, have patience, deal with rejection, and still get your self-esteem intact, overcoming abuse, molestation, rape, just all types of tragedies, you're going to still have to remember who you are in spite of that, and that you are not your experiences. You are that which is underneath all of those experiences on the soul level. You are not these things. It is not always a reflection of you. Now, it can reflect character of a person who has wronged you. It can reflect your own character and your own karmic issues. Some people don't believe in karma, but I'm not saying it like a punishment. But you are not these things. You are greater than this. So I digress, because this is going to be a quick live. So we have this pod of souls here, and they decide they want to learn these lessons. So this one is like, okay, I'm going to come down here on earth, and I'm going to be the abusive mother, the narcissistic mother. This is soul one. And I'm going to split all of these, because each of these little seeds, soul seeds, have a divine and a masculine side. So these are all soul pods that have their own twin flames. So this mother, the character, the soul that's going to play the mother in a lifetime, she splits herself from her divine masculine side, and she comes down here. I hope that you can see this. And she's the mother. This one right here, her twin flame, he's going to be, he may stay back in heaven. So she doesn't even meet him in this lifetime. So he's going to stay home, her spirit husband. So this one here decides to be the daughter. She's going to play the villain. The mother's going to play the villain, like Mommy Dearest. The daughter is going to be the character that has to find her voice in this life and overcome the overbearing villain mother, because this soul right here needs to learn forgiveness once again and overcoming rejection. This soul right here is the brother, etc., etc., and he has to overcome rejection as well. This is the best friend right here. This is the girl's best friend. And so they're all incarnating together. And then you have other souls that could end up being a romantic partner, an enemy might be in there, etc., etc., if you get what I'm saying. So they come down here and they learn these lessons. Now keep in mind, this mother in the soul level is not an enemy at all. They all casted this. This is a play that they're doing. And they're like, okay, I'm going to be the bad guy of this. I'm going to be the villain. So they live this life out. This daughter, she overcomes rejection. She has to learn patience and forgiveness because the mother is maybe abusive. Maybe she had a boyfriend, a soulmate in this group that ended up molesting her and the brother. And so these children, they've had to overcome those type of things. This is all hypothetical. The best friend could have betrayed the daughter or the brother, etc. And so by the end of their lifespan, when the play finally ends and the curtain calls, they're back in heaven and they're reviewing their life. And so the character that played the daughter in one lifetime, they say, okay, now I'm going to be your mother and I'm going to show you how it feels to abuse someone. So the roles change, if you understand what I mean. Nothing is concrete. And another thing I want to explain too is our soul is just as old as our ancestors. And our soul might even be older than our parents in this life. We could have been the parent most of the lifetime. So now it's that child's turn to be the parent. So you may feel like sometimes, dang, I feel like I'm more mature than my father, or I feel like I have to treat my father like a brother or my mother like a sister. That's because sometimes you're all on an equal level, including your ancestors. The only difference between you and your ancestors is that you have a body. So anyway, this is about soulmates. And then we have karmics. Say, for instance, somebody comes from this soul group over here, or even within our own pod, and we meet them, and they're not our twin flame, right? But we have gone through many lifetimes with them. They have taught us lessons. So what is the purpose, besides the soul group, what is the purpose of a karmic? Let me turn the page so that you can see. Karmics. You know how they say people come in your life always for a reason, but only for a season. Karmics often represent those people either in our soul pod or near our soul pod who has been with us through many lifetimes. Since we are so much like our twin flame, this twin flame, we're so much alike, we can't always learn from each other because we're too much alike. So the soul has to split itself, that seed, which is a soul, has to split itself and have these experiences with other people that are not our twin flame. So karmics can be people that we marry, spouses, child's father, child's mother, exes, etc. So this soul needs to fully experience its incarnation and has to split up. Like when you have two best friends in a class together and they're taking that class and the teacher's like, no, y'all need to split up and go to the other group because you're not going to learn, because all y'all going to do is just play. And y'all didn't come down here to just play. So you need these other people to help you evolve. And so you still love this person because that's your twin flame. That's the other half of yourself. Hello, Danisha. That's the other half of yourself. So you may not be with this person. You may long for this person. You may meet them temporarily. They may stay back in heaven and you go to earth, or vice versa. They may pass away before you. You could be together in your 20s and they decide to have their soul contract where they die at 25 years old. But anyway, you go on with your life because you're not going to just be a monk or a nun after they pass away or they decide they can't be with you for whatever reason. And so you meet a karmic who you've known many lifetimes. So anyway, you get with this karmic, right? And y'all get married, you have children, you love them. You may not be 1,000% in love with them like you are your twin flame, but you get them on a soul level. Even if you don't like them, but you're still sexually attracted to them, you can't let them go. You have an addictive relationship, a codependent relationship with one another. This is often a karmic to teach because it's strong lessons. And usually with karmics, strong lessons. Usually with karmics, there's a lot of opposition. There's a lot of enemies that presents itself. It could be a mother-in-law, an evil mother-in-law that doesn't like the other partner, or a sister doesn't get along with the brother, with the lover. It's all of that type of energy. There's a lot of conflict with karmic relationships. Somebody doesn't like somebody. It's almost like that Romeo Juliet where you have these enemies fighting each other over these people being together. It could be that the children don't like the stepmama. This is all karmic type of energy, especially when you meet somebody and you immediately don't like that person. Say if you have a sister and you don't like her boyfriend for whatever reason, like the first day you see him, it's like, oh, I do not like him. What is wrong with him? You probably have known him before in a different life and he has probably offended you in a past life. And your soul remembers that even though you don't consciously remember it. That is karmic. Because you all have to still, remember I was saying that with a body, we only get a finite amount of time. Like if this pen dries out, we still have to tell the story. So we got to get a new pen, meaning we have to get a new body. So your soul remembers. So y'all have unfinished business. Y'all have unfinished beef that you have to come down here and continue. Because as I speak of life being like a movie, imagine part 1, part 2, part 3. So on part 1, which was a past life, you all have unresolved conflict. So you come down to part 2 to do the same type of movie, if you get what I'm saying. So you could marry this person here, the karmic, and you still could be laying right there next to your spouse thinking about this twin flame for some reason. Or you could be with your twin flame thinking about this karmic. And you're like, dang, I feel so guilty. Why do I feel this for this person? This person wasn't good to me. They weren't nice to me. That's because there's a soul level connection, a soul tie that transcends lifetimes. Because the soul doesn't know how to just say, okay, moralistically, I'm just gonna love one person, and that's all. I'm gonna have a laser vision, laser focus, I have my blinders on. This is it. Because your soul remembers your experiences with both people, including the union with the twin flame and the union with the karmics. And you may find yourself married to somebody. You're like, why does this person keep cheating or going back to this girl and she's causing all these problems? And he has this ex who he has a child with. He won't stop going to her house. That's often a twin flame karmic dynamic with the divine feminine, divine masculine, and karmic type of energy. And you're wondering why is this creating a love triangle? Because this goes on from past lifetimes that has carried over, because all three souls need to learn some type of lesson. So when you see love triangles, that is often people who are either in your soul group or near your soul group, and they have come to present challenges to make you better yourself. So say for instance, if your twin flame betrays you with a karmic, you may need to learn a lesson of unconditional love, not taking crap, but unconditional love, overcoming rejection. And this may all be planned in the spirit realm. Everything might be just sketched out in the scenery of what you came to do. And we take things so personal, like, oh, this person, this lover, they don't mean me well, or I don't mean my lover well because I still love this other person. And that's not always the case, because we didn't come here just to everything's just all peace all the time. Sometimes we need that conflict, because once again, this great I am energy has to experience what it is not in order to experience what it is. So karmics, once again, they don't always have to be romantic. A karmic could be a school teacher that makes a difference in your life. I hope you can see that. Be a school teacher. It can be a mentor. A karmic could be somebody that you meet walking down the street and you all have a soul contract, like at 5 p.m. on September 14th, 1986. I'm going to walk past you and I'm going to save you from getting hit by a car, and you will never see me again. And you may have known this person many lifetimes, and the only thing they have to do, it's like an extra in a movie, all they're going to do is pull you and protect you from the car hitting you. Or you could have a soul contract with somebody that's a karmic, and they say, okay, you're going to live your whole entire life for 42 years, and I'm going to be in a game, and you're going to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. I quote, the wrong place at the wrong time, and which is really the right place at the wrong time if you agree to do it. That's why I did this. And I'm going to shoot you in your leg and make you paralyzed, and you're going to have a wheelchair. And you agreed to this soul contract in heaven to only this gangster that hits you with this stray bullet makes you paralyzed. So now you can't walk. So now your whole life is turned upside down, and you end up becoming like some type of advocate for people that have disabilities, or people that have been shot, or families that have lost loved ones to gun violence. And that changes your whole destiny, and you end up being successful being an advocate for this, even though you may be in a wheelchair now, you may be walking around on a cane. But this person, this one karmic person, just 5 minutes of them crossing your path in your life could totally change your life, just totally. And that is the example of a karmic. So it's not always love triangles and drama. Sometimes it can be just one person that just makes a big difference in your life. Going back to the concept of like your school teachers, it could be a school teacher for that entire year. They teach you about self-love, self-esteem. You may be having a bad year. Your parents, they might be neglectful, and they're just there for you in so many ways. You may get a school teacher that teaches you how to put your makeup on correctly, or a mentor, a coach, that shows you how to be a man. And that 1 year of that coach being in your life can show you, can give you lessons that go throughout your entire lifetime that put you towards your destiny. They can give you a referral on going to the right college that gets you on the path you need to go. And that's it. Everybody is not always meant to stay in your life. So we talked about romantic, non-romantic, and keep in mind with souls, with our soulmates, they can start off romantic in a lifetime, and then they can end up being just friends. Say for instance, you marry one of your soulmates or somebody from your soul group, and everything is all hot and steamy, and y'all are together 10, 15 years, you have children, and now it feels like you're more brothers and sisters. Why does it feel like that? Is it that you don't love the person anymore? Is that you're a bad demonic person that just cheats and doesn't want to be with your spouse? No, it's just that you all are so comfortable with each other because you all have been together since eternity that the relationship ends up becoming like you're just best friends. Hi Richie, let's see, will this be recorded? I need to take notes. Yes, you will be able to see this after the live. It will be up. And I hope y'all can see me clearly today because I was really upset about that other live being messed up. So let's see, romantic, non-romantic, just friends. So don't judge your relationship if you feel like it is going stale and you have been together for a long time. And also don't judge if you agree to be with a soulmate, marry them, have children, and by the time you're in your 50s, you're like, okay, we've accomplished what we said we were going to accomplish in a lifetime. And so once you've accomplished that, you may either decide to divorce or you may decide to have extramarital affairs. And I'm not justifying that. I'm just saying your eyes might start roaming, or you may not even cheat at all. You may just start breaking off doing your own hobbies. You may join some type of organization, and you get home late and you see your spouse late. And it's like you all have, I don't want to say divergent paths, but things change because you all have accomplished what you all are going to do. Your children are grown, they're 18, and now you all have a new mission because you're continuing your life. Like say for instance, if you decide to live until you're 60 or 70, you're still together, you're still very much together, but you all have your own individuality as well, because maybe you all agreed to have your own individuality. So the husband that goes off and cheats with some 20-year-old karmic, that may not mean that he doesn't love his soulmate who he married. That could just mean maybe he had some type of contract with that 20-year-old karmic to maybe help that karmic. Maybe that karmic is, maybe she has a drug addiction, but he finds her so beautiful, so he helps her get off drugs. He takes money out the account to help her get her life together. Even though it may look like betrayal on this end, I hope y'all can hear me because the phone went out. Even though it may look like the husband has betrayed his wife by going off with this 20-year-old karmic, let's see. I wonder if I should have put my phone in airplane mode. That ticked me off. Okay, I hope y'all can still see me. So he may decide he doesn't want to leave, and he helps this girl 2 years in her life, and now her life is just better. And they don't talk to each other anymore. He goes back to his marriage. Bada bing, bada boom. So if you're wondering like, okay, why is my husband cheating, or why is my wife cheating on me? There might be a soul contract built in there to do that. Hello, Yum GM. Nice to see you. Good morning. So cheating is not always somebody wanting to break your heart or this and that. And another thing is too, if you look at the synastry in your chart with the person that you're in a relationship with, it will often tell you if they're going to end up cheating, because the way the position of the planets and stars are when we are born, it's like our blueprint. It contains information about our Akashic records, our soul contracts, our karma, our energy, our past life residue that we have to work ourselves through. So someone may actually have a penchant of a tendency to cheat based on their Mars placement. They could have Mars and Scorpio to where no matter what they do, it's built in them to lie and cheat. Or a Mars in Taurus to where they're greedy, or Mars in Aries, Venus in Aries. It all depends on the synastry of the person. So this is what I want you to understand. I want you to understand when you feel like, oh my God, I've been cheated on, I've been betrayed, this person doesn't love me, I'm not good enough. It's not you oftentimes. It's not always you that could be the cause of somebody cheating on you, or it may not be the person, it may not be their problem that you're cheating on them. It could all be built into the grand scheme of things. So when I talk about like astrology, how do you know when you've met a karmic, a soulmate, or a twin flame? Turning the page here. The signs that you have often met a karmic or a twin flame, hi Danisha, hello again, is same moon sign. If you want to know if you've met one of your soulmates or someone in your soul group, same moon sign. That's one indication. Not always, but it's definitely an indication that you've probably known that person in a past life, and you understand each other on a soul level. You may not even, you don't have to even say one word to each other. All you have to do is look in each other's eyes and y'all know what time it is. Y'all could not be talking and walk down the street, see each other, and it's so much, a whole conversation has just happened in 30 seconds just by looking in their eyes. Same moon sign. Also, what you're sexually attracted to. You could have a soulmate and you may not be sexually attracted to them because their Mars could be in a position, Mars sign, and then we're going to talk about Venus in a minute as well. Their Mars or Venus might be in a position to where that's not what you're attracted to. Say, for instance, my Mars is in Taurus. So I might be attracted to people that have earth sign placements in their chart, like somebody with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn somewhere. And Venus in Gemini, I might be attracted to someone that either has air signs in their chart. So I could marry somebody that doesn't have this placement that would light my fire per se, but I may have another soul that I am attracted to. So this explains what we're attracted to, what we're not attracted to. So if you're going to get in a relationship and you want that person to just be va-va-voom attracted to you, make sure that you look at the person's Mars sign, and make sure that you look at their Venus sign, and make sure that you look into their moon sign. That's why it's so important when your children are born. That's why it's so important when your children are born that you record their birth time, place of birth. Of course, you probably know what that is. And make sure you know exactly if the planets were in retrograde when they're born, when they draw their first breath. That's going to tell you so much about them. It's going to tell you where their house placements are, where the decans are. It's going to tell you so much about that child. Their Chiron, which is their soul trauma that they're going to have to go through in this life. Make sure you record that. Because if you know this information, you'll know. But when you meet somebody, you know this, you'll know. I'm not gonna get involved with this person. This person's not gonna be attracted to me like I'm attracted to them. Like unrequited love situations where somebody loves you more and you don't love them like that, but they love you. They're crazy about you, or you're crazy about somebody. They just keep running away from you. Often it's due to their Mars and Venus placement. They can't help it. It's in their makeup. It's in their DNA. They can't help it. So they may be off with this other person. They may really love you. Like you could have the same moon sign as them. Thank you, dear. Somebody send a super chat. Hold on. Okay. I can't see your name from where I am right now, but I'll acknowledge you in just a minute. Thank you, darling. Y'all can have the same moon sign, you and your spouse. Y'all get along great. Y'all sit there and watch movies together, have great conversations, but something is off over here in Mars and Venus. It just doesn't get you hot like that. So you can see somebody else that's not even in your soul group, a karmic, or even a non-karmic, and they just do it for you. And you go off and you have a one-night stand with somebody who has a perfect Mars and Venus placement that is going to really, as soon as you look at them, you're ready to go at it. You know what I'm saying? Not that you don't love your soulmate who you have the same moon sign with, but something is just off right here. Also, the ascendant, the Pluto, the Uranus, Neptune, all of that comes into play with relationships and why we cheat on each other, why we lie, and I really love my husband, I really love my wife, but why am I so on fire for this person over here? Why can I not stop thinking about this person? Why is my husband sending this person a DM, or they're on Messenger talking at 10 o'clock at night? Often it's because of this right here. Mars, Venus. Hi, Danisha. Thank you, darling. It's often because of this, Mars and Venus placements. And this is where your karmic stuff comes in. So I want you to realize this before you go judging people, and before we judge each other and judge ourselves. It's often astrological and soul level type stuff, because a lot of people say all that astrology stuff isn't real, but we have to understand that the planets and their movements affect all bodies of water on Earth. And what are we? We are 3/4 water. So if we're 3/4 water, how could it not affect us? How can the tides and the moon, how can it not have some type of effect on us? So this is our karmic blueprint. We have our sun sign, our moon sign, oh yes, and ascendant, that's our rising sign. Moon, Mercury, that's how, I'll explain in just a minute, how we think. Venus, how we express love. Mars, how we take action, etc., etc. We have so many others, North Node, South Node, Uranus. Our ascendant is how people view us. This is like the cover of our book. Our sun sign is like our introduction. Our moon sign is how we process emotions. I'll say sun sign is personality. Our ascendant is also what we aspire to in a lifetime. Like my ascendant is in Sagittarius. So my rising is going to be into looking into philosophical matters, spiritual teaching, travel, and that has been a part of my life. That's my rising sign. And people will mistake me for a Sagittarius because they will see my enthusiasm about spiritual teaching and things like that. And that's because that's my rising sign, even though my sun sign is a Gemini. So moon sign You know, people will judge you by your sun sign. Like, I'm a Gemini, and people say, oh, I don't trust Geminis. You must not be real because you're Gemini, but my moon is in Capricorn. So I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I have motherly energy. I've been through challenges through childhood. So this shows how I express my emotions. For example, Mercury is how you think. This is your opinions, and this is also how you learn. Venus is how you express romantic love, not just love for your brothers, sisters, parents, family. How you express, I hope y'all can see my scribble scratch, romantic love. Mars is what you are sexually attracted to, honey. Mars is also how you express anger, and it's also how you assert yourself, like how you go forth in life. Like, are you going to be passive aggressive? It also kind of shows you your ambition along with the moon sign. It shows you what you strive for, strive to be like. So when you think about all this, you're not just your sun sign, you're also numbers too, because you have you also, I said numbers. You have your life path number. That's why you get two people of the same sign, they're not the same. You get your life path number, you get your personality number. And you also get a personal year vibration. Now, when you mix all of this together, just one person, look at all this alchemy right here. All this confusion, certain planets conflicting and stuff. Imagine putting that with another soul that has their own alchemy going on and try to mix that. And sometimes it clashes, sometimes it doesn't. So if you don't like somebody, you can't stand them, don't judge yourself for that. It's probably often due to karmic placements, past life residue, because this is your blueprint. This explains why you go through soulmates, twin flames, karmics, chance happenings to where you meet somebody important and you never see them again. So you mixing all this stuff. This is you, all that you are. Just one little soul with all of this intelligence within its seed. And then you get the other person. I hope you can see this. Sloppy. And this is your mate or your lover, somebody you want to be with. They got their own rising sign. They have their own sun sign, moon sign, Mercury, Venus, Mars, life path number, personality number, and personal year. And you're mixing all this, and it might not all be compatible. This is going to show you where your challenges are. That's why they have, when you are in a relationship with someone, you should get a synastry reading to see if your planets conflict anywhere and to see how you can work through those conflict resolutions. Because if you can work through the conflict resolutions within your astrological chart with yourself, resolving your own inner conflict and karmic energy and resolving it with a mate, you all can make the relationship last, or you can accept when it's not going to go any further than that and just say, okay, we're just going to do this for a few years and we've accomplished all we need to accomplish together in this lifetime. Hey, I'll see you in heaven. No hard feelings. So your life path number, that tells you like what's going to be the theme of your life. So if your life path number 1, and we're still talking about soulmates, karmics, and twin flames, you're going to be a leader. You're going to not want to work for someone else. You're going to want to be your own boss, and you're going to also be a trailblazer. You're going to be a pioneer. You're going to be the one that starts things. You may not finish them, but you start them. A number 2 is like the co-host. You're going to be the one that is supporting the leader. You're going to be the one that's more intuitive and cooperative. Number 1 is like a masculine energy. It represents the sun. Number 2 is like feminine energy. It represents the moon. So this could be the perfect combination for like a husband or wife, for instance, or a feminine or masculine energy. A number 3 life path, that's going to be the one that gets things going. Not the starter, because the starter is the leader up here. Gets things going. They make things happen. They are the creators and the manifestors. Number 4 life path is somebody who's stable. They're the builder. They're the master builder. Stability, building. They finish what the leader starts. They finish the project. A number 5 life path is the rebel. They tear down everything that number 4 built. This is the one that gets bored easy. This is also the humanitarian that likes to travel. This is also the one that likes to argue. This could be the one that's messy. They like conflict. They thrive on it. They get bored when there's no excitement in the deal. So they come to shake things up, number 5s. Hi, I am the Magician. You're number 4 life path. That's a life path of stability. Also be aware of boredom with number 4. Then you get a number 6 life path. They're more home related. They make good husbands, good wives, good parents. They also make good team members. They're nurturers. They're also very prideful. They're proud of their loved ones, and they're proud of the family that they create. They're very family oriented. A number 7 is the spiritual life path. They're like the sages, the gurus, and they like a lot of alone time. They don't get lonely easy. They're often loners. Or if they're not loners, they like small groups. They rather have quality company over quantity of company. They're not like the social butterflies. They're more the ones standing in the corner or the back of the nightclub when they go out. They're the wallflower usually. A number 8 life path, that's the money maker right there. That's the business person. That's the hustler, etc., etc. Number 9 life path is somebody that everything that you've gotten from starting 1 through 8, this is the ending. They're humanitarians. And they represent tearing down everything we built up starting at number 1. They tear down the old regimes and they bring in revolution. Number 9 life path people often have trouble committing to relationships because it's such an unstable number, but with unexpected change, enemies, betrayals. But the humanitarian people, if you marry a number 9 life path person, you will never have your spouse to yourself. You'll probably be the type where you have people at your house all the time. People can just pop up at the house anytime with a number 9 life path type of person because they always have people around them. They also have enemies around them, and they can also have a tendency to betray people. Not on purpose, but because they're just a force to reckon with within themselves. So if you get somebody that is a number, let's say a number 4 or a number 6 life path, they may have trouble being with somebody who's a number 9 life path or number 5, the rebel, because they want, like a number 4 would want stability. So they may have trouble with somebody like this. Or somebody that's a number 2 person is often, on the flip side, the dark side is that they can be codependent in their soul group. So they may have trouble dealing with somebody who's a number 9. And a number 2 can often be betrayed by the number 9 person. Now keep in mind, as this is someone's life path, this can also be their personality number. So you can have a number 1 life path and have a number 4 personality. So it just tells you what, it's just like the fine blueprint of your life. This is what makes you uniquely you, just as unique as your fingerprint. And I'm going to close this out soon too. Let's see. We talked about Mars, Venus placements. Give me just 1 second. I want to talk about going the wrong path, and then we're going to close out for today. Okay. Now, looking at this, you may truly love your soulmate or your twin flame, but this might not go together. This might not be compatible to your life path. This might not be compatible to your synastry. It just may be a hot mess. And it doesn't work out. It's exciting. It's like a roller coaster, but it causes emotional instability. It challenges your self-esteem. It challenges your self-love. And it could take you off your path. So when I say that, when you're in love with somebody who you just can't be with, you know how they say if you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with? Even though you might be bored with the one you're with and the other one lights your fire, but it just can't be. Not in that lifetime. It's like, okay, if you can't be with the one you love, you get a karmic. Because you don't want to be single for the rest of your life, or you may not want to just be alone and not deal with other people. But the one you love might be incompatible to all that you are, astrologically speaking, on a soul contract level. numerologically speaking. I spelled that wrong. It's okay. So there's stuff, it just may not gel with you. So you get love triangles. But what happens if you try to be with the one that you love and you're just not compatible? What happens? A hot mess. Say for instance, on your soul contract, as we talked about in the soul group, I want a whole nother page just to do this. Give me just 1 second. You agreed on your soul contract to have your luck. Here we have north, south, east, and west. You agreed to go north in your lifetime. This is going to be where all your luck is. This is where you're going to meet your husband or your wife. This is where you're going to have children successfully. This is where you're going to have career path success. But you have a twin flame or karmic that agreed for their life path to go east. But you're so in love with them and you're trying to be with them. You want to make it work no matter how hard you try. But all your luck is over here in the north. Because you're going to see each other back in the spirit realm. Because that's eternity. Because a lifetime is only a blip on the radar screen. So you're trying to be with them and it's not working out. Y'all having great sex. It's just wonderful. You don't ever forget them. But nothing is happening over here. You might have trouble manifesting money. Just things going wrong. You might feel drained. It's just not working out because you're supposed to be over here. You agreed to have all your amenities going this direction. But you're going that direction because you're off your soul contract. You've allowed this person, this soul that you love, to take you off your path. Because just because you're in a soul pod with somebody doesn't mean y'all are going to go the same direction in that incarnation. You could have a lifetime where you all going in the same direction. You end up married, happily, living together till you're 90. But if they have something else their soul needs to learn in the east or the south or the west, and you're going this way, you're not being true to yourself. So betrayal of self is the highest betrayal. So you could end up missing your boat trying to go be over there with them. And they might reject you. They might ghost you because their soul knows, you're not supposed to be over here with me. You're supposed to be this way. Now, keep in mind, they're not going to tell you that because they don't consciously realize it, but their soul realizes it. So they ghost you or they go away from you. They go in another relationship. They keep leaving you because you're supposed to go this way. And it's not working out over here. You're hitting a brick wall because your soul made the agreement to have your luck over here. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why when you can't be with the one you love, this is what happens. And this is why it's so important when you're born to focus on, to be true to you and what you came here to do. Because if you're going to go through all this suffering, negative parents. So that is my summary on soulmates, karmics, and twin flames for today. I feel like there's so much more I have to say about this. I'm just bursting with information, and I have like this stream of consciousness just going through me at this time. That's why I'm talking so quickly. But this is just to kind of give you an understanding of why we can't always be with a soulmate, a twin flame, or why we cheat, or why people cheat, because it's all soul level information. This is why there is no judgment in that. Not saying if it's wrong. Because trust me, if somebody betrays you, you're going to get the opportunity to betray them. Even if you have to come back and reincarnate to do. Not because of karma necessarily, but because to learn the lesson. We have to take turns learning the lesson so that our soul evolves. If you understand what I mean. And the Most High, the divine source of all things that we are always connected to, the biggest part of ourselves, so we are all one, there's no separation, is observing all of this like a person at the movies watching a play. Just observing everything, watching itself have these experiences as it makes its way back home. It takes many lifetimes. Lifetime 1, 2, 3, 4, many lifetimes, could be thousands of lifetimes to get back to this, because that's all we want to do is to get home back to what we are, where there's oneness. There is no split souls and rejection, abuse, lack, poverty. There's none of that there. So we want to elevate back to that, to remember that this is what we really are. This is our origin. And once again, I remind you, we are never alone. We are always born with a cluster of souls. And our spirit guides represent those in our soul group or neighboring soul group that help us make it through this incarnation. So let's see. I don't know if there are any questions, but I will answer it in the comment box. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Richard Rivera, how can I connect with you? Yes, connect with me at adunola13@gmail.com. That's A as in apple, D is in dog, U is in umbrella, N is in Nancy, O is in octopus, L is in laughter, A is in apple, 13@gmail.com. Okay, let's see. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, Danisha, and thank you for being patient. My second live. So, yeah, here we go. Wait, it's my third live. Whatever it is, I'm not that fast. I'm not that tech savvy, so be patient with me. I'm still getting kind of smooth with this, trying to finesse it. But I hope that you all enjoyed this. Thank you, my dear Midoya, the wise one. Mwah. I send hearts to you all. Okay, so leave comments in the comment box, like, share, subscribe. Thank you, my dear butterfly Shiraz. I like that name. Thank you, I'm the magician. Thank you, higher vibrations. Thank you, King Stan. Thank you, my dear. Thank you all for watching, okay? So let's continue this conversation in the comment box. I'm going to get going because I have some readings to do and I'm late. So, yeah, let's continue this conversation. I love talking.